Hello everyone and welcome to a new season of URL-GT1 racing. We are at Sebring for round 1 of the championship and we have 25 drivers on the grid. Miguel Korkiakowski, last season's drivers champion, put his car on pole with a 150.8. His close contender Reinhard Berger was in second with a 151.2. Mihovil Markovic completed the top 3. In the AM Cup, it was Florian Koetz putting more than a second between him and second place man Andrei Golubnici. Newcomer Simon Fillingham took third spot in AM. So let's have a look at the highlights of the race. So here's the grid for the start of the new season of URL-GT1 racing. Everyone gets away cleanly, it seems. But turn 1 will always be very tricky here, very wide, and gets a lot narrower than... Oh, that's Michal Klisch and Florian Koetz going a bit wide onto the grass, but they rejoin, and it all gets very, very tight here into the first chicane complex. Some drivers onto the grass there will cause a bit of mayhem. And then onto the first braking zone into the hairpin. Always very tricky on cold tires and cold brakes. But for now everyone keeps it quite clean, some puffs of smoke, but everything goes smoothly, so everyone still in a good position to fight for what they're worth. Michal Klisch fell back a bit in the first chicane, was involved in an incident, and Miguel Korkiakowski already has a healthy gap to second place. Peter Bacchus, Reinhard Berger got relegated to third spot at the moment, and it's all still very, very close. Muxi Istvan and Ethan Baz here are very close going into the chicane leading on to the back straight. Florian Koetz here being hounded by all his AM Cup rivals, and Carou Miller here in 24th position, a new entry here in URL-GT1. Miguel Korkiakowski will end the first lap with a healthy gap. Let's see if he can win from pole for the first race of the season. The reigning champion Peter Bacchus is in second, then Reinhard Berger and the whole rest of the field streaming past. Florian Koetz in first of the AM Cup, and as you can see there are quite some new names here on the grid, and you'll get to know them throughout the race. Starting lap 2, here's Robert Horvat behind Tony Ukic and Florian Koetz. He's just far enough behind to see it all happening. Florian is a bit slower on the apex here, and Tony has to brake a little bit, which gives Robert the opportunity to dive up the inside and get P5. But one lap later, Tony Ukic got right on the gearbox of Tony, went for the inside into turn 1 with a big slide though, but he retook the position. So very hard fight here in the front of the field. Then Florian Koetz right behind Reinhard Berger and Peter Bacchus battling for second spot, and his teammate Miguel Korkiakowski is already out of sight. Smallest of mistakes there by Reinhard Berger, and Florian gets through. Tony Ukic is also right behind, ready to take advantage of any further mistakes by Reinhard. Let's hope he can keep it steady for now and not lose another position. Oh, he outbrakes himself a little bit, locks up the tires, goes a bit wide onto grass, and that gives Tony just enough speed to get past into P4, so Reinhard will have his work cut out for him. Let's see if he can get past Tony Ukic again. Here's Mihovil Markovic. He qualified in third but got a bad first lap. Here he is behind Greg Metcalf and Alexander Petrichenko. That's also a new driver. they had the smallest of touches, and that lets Mihovil Markovic place his car, his Maserati, just between them. And we will see a lot of more action from Mihovil as he slices through the field. Just in front here is Alexander Petrichenko, one of the new drivers here, and looking at the practice times and qualifying, he's well capable of getting those top 10 finishes, which are so difficult to get here at URL. Mihovil Markovic gets past Alexander, and another newcomer is Vasily Yakovenko. In a fight with Andrei Golubnici, leaves the door open for Andrei, and a small touch there. They could have taken a bit more care there, both, but Andrei goes through. Florian Manolace, meanwhile, started from pole in AM and is still in first in his class, followed by two pro drivers, Miguel Santiago Carou and Michal Klisch. And then behind, Andrei Golubnici is now just getting passed by Simon Fillingham, also a new name, and putting his car on second spot here. Then Yevgeny Leonov in the pro class, in between them. Then Sando, Vasily and Felix Boucher in 22nd. Here we are again with Mihovil Markovic now behind Sten Mikkel Olsen, teammate of Alexander Petrichenko in the Viper this season. And going into Sunset Bend, let's see what happens. Sten has the inside line, but Mihovil dares to brake just a little bit later. Goes around the outside and has to be careful for Karl Miller, also a new driver in the AM Cup, who's already diving into the pit, so he clearly had some kind of problem. And then here we are with Florian Koetz following Peter Bacchus. So Florian will have to, will want to get into P2 spot to make it a 1-2 for LNL Racing, and a good start for their team's championships. And he does the old over under. Peter just outbraking himself and leaving the gap wide open for Florian Koetz in the Ferrari F40 just behind. Reinhard Berger is not giving up on that fourth position that he just lost. Very tight battle here with Tony Ukic. And here Peter Bacchus just got passed by Florian Koetz, and now his teammate Tony Ukic and Reinhard Berger are right behind. Tony looks to the inside. I think Peter is going to let him pass, but he wants to turn in just too early to block off Reinhard, and clips the back of his teammate. Luckily, only consequences for him. Can Robert Horvat also get past? It's very tricky here to pass in this section, and I think he will have to stay behind for now. We'll see what happens with that battle later on. So then, short overview. Mikko Korkiakowski with a big gap to his teammate Florian Koetz, at least 15 to 20 seconds already. Then Tony Ukic in third, Reinhard Berger in fourth, Peter Bacchus followed by Robert Horvat, as we saw. And right behind them is Mihovil Markovic, who made his way up to P7 already. We saw all that happening. Then Alexander Petrichenko is in 8th, his teammate Sten Mikkel Olsen already pitted. Greg Metcalf is in 9th. Then Muxi Istvan in P10. Alex Lausch, Florian Manolace in 12th, first in the AM Cup for now. Ethan Bass is not too far behind him. Then Miguel Santiago Carou and Michal Klisch, and Miguel is coming into the pits at the earliest possible moment as well. Sten Mikkel Olsen, Felix Boucher, followed by Simon Fillingham, goes a bit wide here, followed by Sando Donadel. So Felix is in the pro class, and at the moment the AM guys are able to follow him, so that's a good sign for them. And then here Mihovil Markovic on Robert Horvat, so he was able to close the gap, goes for the inside into Sunset Bend, and He did it round the outside of Sten Mikkel Olsen, and here he goes up the inside of Robert Horvat, who dives into the pits as well. Then, as I said already, the battle between Reinhard Berger and Tony Ukic was a very heated one, very close one. Reinhard Berger taking a very weird line here into turn 1, and Tony was a bit surprised, was caught off guard, and has to let him through. So Reinhard has his 3rd place spot back. Oh, and a spin from Tony Ukic put a wheel on the grass. His teammate and Mihovil Markovic go back past. So that's a big shame for Tony. Just a bit too wide in the back of the car onto the grass caused him to have that spin. Luckily, no major drama or damage for him. Mihovil is now already up to P5. Can he get past Peter Backus in one go? So past the 2 teammates in 1 lap. He has been very quick here on the back straight and pulled some passes already, so he has a good feel for the car into Sunset Bend, which is a very difficult turn on your own. So you have to have full confidence in the other driver to do it side by side like they do now. And Mihovil goes past Peter Backus up to P4, and here is then some of the pit cycles. Michal Klisch going out of the pits just behind Florian Manolace. So I think Florian gained some positions, or at least gained some time there. And here they are, very, very close, coming out of the pits. And Florian goes a bit wide there. He could have rejoined a bit earlier, just after the cones. And Michal takes that position from him. That's a good thing for Michal, so he can focus on the guys of his own class to get past again. Peter Backus then got up to P2 in the early stages, but now fell back to P9, and he's being followed by Mihovil Markovic, and they're right behind Miguel Santiago Carou. This is of course just after the pit stops. Mihovil goes for the inside. Oh, another pass here at Sunset Bend, and he keeps the position. Very nicely done. Although he lost a bit of time in the pit stops, it seems, because P9 was not where he was before the pit stops. But this battle is shaping up very nicely. Then Alex Lausch, we haven't seen him today yet. He's right behind this battle, I think. Yes, that's Peter Backus that he gets past. And here is that battle again. Mihovil Markovic placing his car just on the inside of Miguel Santiago Carou. And getting past around the outside. Very, very close there. And a very nice move from Mihovil. Oh, and a slide there from Miguel Santiago Carou just at the very end of the race. And to let you guys see how close it was, Miguel makes a mistake and in the process loses 3 positions. And if Ethan can get past, even 4, so it was very, very close. And here we are at the end of the first race here at Sebring. Mika Korkiakowski with a very dominant win here. A big gap to the rest of the field, over 30 seconds, taking pole, fastest lap time and the win here. So all you can get, and the best part is his teammate is right behind him, so a 1-2 for L&L Racing. Very good start for them. Florian Koetz in second, then Reinhard Berger made it back up to P3 and held that position. Then Robert Horvat in 4th. Tony Ukic in 5th. Alexander Petrichenko first race in P6. That's a very good result in the Viper. Then Mihovil Markovic, he made it up to P7. Greg Metcalf in 7th, in 8th position, I'm sorry. Peter Backus in 9th. Then Muxi Istvan quite a lonely race for him. Alex Lausch then, Miguel Santiago Carou. Florian Koetz taking the win in the AM Cup, finishing P13 overall, so very strong performance from him in the Maserati. Then Ethan Bass, he's 1 lap down, just as Michal Klisch, Sten-Mikkel Olsen, Felix Boucher, Simon Fillingham, Sando Donadel. They're completing the AM podium, and we'll see the results just now to get a full overview of the results of this race. So Miko, Florian and Reinhard on the podium in the Pro Cup, Florian Koetz, Simon Fillingham and Sando Donadel on the podium in the AM Cup. A very good race with a lot of drivers. Next week there will be no GT1 racing but GT3 racing in Assetto Corsa at the Barcelona Catalunya circuit. 32 laps with all the GT3 cars, including the Scuderia Cameron Glickenhaus. So join us for that, and the week after we're going back for round 2 of the GT1 Championship. We stay in the US and we go racing at Watkins Glen on the 1st of March. So see you next week or the week after, and join us at unitedracersleague.com.